Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order, February 5th, 2020. If we could have everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on our agenda tonight is either to accept or modify the agenda. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Community participation. Community participation is a time intended for the public to give input on relevant school issues and not intended to be a question and answer period, as this may be the first time the board has heard the information. Please do not expect individual responses or any comments by the board at this time, but be assured that any concerns will be reviewed. Please print your name on the sheet at the podium, state your name, address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Now, this is for anything other than the superintendent search and the, help me, budget. How could I forget the budget? So, anyone have anything? Just
Good evening, members of the school board and staff. I'm Linda Allen, 15 Massey Street, Front Royal, and a former educator, as many of you know. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I retired from education as a clean break and maintained that for quite a few years. Other interests existed and were pursued. And then a few weeks ago, I ran across some ratings for the school system in national reports as 3 or 4 out of 10 points. How can this be true? We work every year on improvement of student achievement and increasing competency of staff. And while here, my boss's knowledge and experience in directing the instructional program led to dramatically significant higher achievement. We did so well that the state made more rules to control the integrity of test papers. Apparently, no one could be honest and get that score up higher. Why are we not at the top of the list of performance? After that, don't the teachers have a big notebook of teaching techniques that they translated into the content of their own field? Isn't summer work for teachers a matter of defining instructional materials in such a diversity that every student would be able to receive assistance if becoming confused or unable to understand the lesson of the day as it was being presented to the majority of students? I know the answer to those questions is no. Similarly, students do not keep their notebooks for each class over summer, such that the review process at the beginning of the year in September can be brief. We've not called a timeout, however, to find out with staff if we've asked the correct questions in order to resolve these issues. The hardest part of problem solving is defining the problem. It's a strange situation for a field that's critically important to the survival of our way of life. I know that you use the growth mindset, which is truly a significant component if higher student achievement is to be obtained, and that it is hooked to the teacher evaluation system. But in the mid-70s, we moved away from critical thinking skills being taught into more objective tests, and critical thinking skills are the companion to the growth mindset. They are needed to make the brain change and grow. So by the way, we had drug epidemics then. Heroin was one. We had political pressure back then. Books not on the shelves, but under the circulation desk, content emphasis, not graded quite as strongly as the focus was on skills of learning and reasoning. But to the now, I suggest that training be provided in critical thinking skills and summer work be devoted to translating those skills into the subject fields by the teachers. Please also consider a public information staff member who writes articles constantly about education and about classrooms. Despite the shortcomings that we have, there are always wonderful events happening all day long with classrooms by teacher work and by student work. And next, you do need someone to do some fairly simple kinds of research. Why bother with changes such as I've recommended if there is no measurement? If there is no measurement, it's going to be a project that litters the highway of education just like many others have in the past. Thank you for the chance to speak. Okay?
Thank you, Ms.
Let me
Allen.
fill this out.
Anyone else? Hearing none, we'll close the community participation part. Moving on to recognitions. School Board Appreciation Month. Ms. Shepherd, please.
Thank you. The month of February marks the annual observance of School Board Appreciation Month, a time to salute the work of school board members and celebrate public education. The theme, Excellence Through Equity, reflects the top priority of local school board members as they advocate for public education with local, state, and federal leaders on behalf of all students. The foundation of school leadership is ensuring equal learning opportunities for all students in Warren County. School board members develop policies and make tough decisions on complex educational and social issues impacting the entire community. They bear responsibility for an annual budget of over $57 million, 5,200 students, over 800 employees, and 11 school sites. Tonight, we would like to recognize and celebrate the dedication of our school board members. For School Board Appreciation Month, each of our schools adopted a school board member and have invited their member to the school for lunch or a tour, or provided student work for their school board member. And you should have some of their work at your desk. We are lucky to have such dedicated school board members who advocate for the students of Warren County Public Schools. Thank you. And the Virginia School Board Association has also issued a certificate of recognition for each of our school board members in appreciation of their dedication and service to excellence in education on behalf of the students of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And you have your certificates at your desk as well. The Virginia School Board Association would also like to recognize Robert Ballantyne and George Buck Smith for their for School Board Clerk Appreciation Week, which is February 17th through the 21st, in appreciation for their dedication and service to the excellence in education on behalf of the students of the Commonwealth of Virginia. We would also like to extend our thanks for our School Board Clerk, Rob Ballantyne, and our School Board Deputy Clerk, Buck Smith, for the great work they do for our school system. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shepherd. Any comments? All right. Move on to public hearing section. The first is going to be a public hearing for the superintendent search. I'd like to say a few words before we begin. I would like to welcome everyone to this public input session. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to receive feedback from the community members regarding the characteristics, skills, or knowledge the next superintendent of Warren County Schools should possess. It would be appropriate to mention names. It would not be appropriate to mention names or a particular incident from the past. This type of information is best received in writing and sent to Warren County School Board, the interim superintendent, or to appear at the next regular school board meeting on Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. Tonight, your comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The school board is here to listen to the public and not engage in a speaker dialogue. The Warren County School Board has secured the services of Real Synergy, LLC, to assist in the superintendent search process. I would like to introduce Dr. J. David Martin, president of the firm, to give a brief update and timetable for the search process before we begin the public input session. Dr. Martin.
Thank you. So Real Synergy has been secured to assist the Warren County School Board with the process of selecting your next school superintendent. And part of this process includes multiple ways to solicit input from the school community and the community at large on the skill sets, characteristics, knowledge, and attributes of the next superintendent. So there are several ways for everyone in the Warren County community to have input. Real Synergy conducted 120 face-to-face interviews of identified community leaders and school personnel. The input from tonight's input session will be combined with this interview data. The online survey has responded with close to 700 responses from the community. Just let me say, this is unprecedented. It shows that people are very interested in this process. I'm very excited about that. From these 3 data points, the school board will develop a superintendent's profile which will describe the next school superintendent. The school board will have a called school board meeting this Saturday, February 8th, beginning at 9 o'clock, to consider all of the data that's been collected. A profile will be used and developed a profile of the superintendent will be developed, and from that profile, we will actually develop a job application this Saturday, and after that, we'll develop from the profile the actual interview questions that you'll use. The goal throughout this process is to find the match between the profile, what the community desires, and the skills of the successful candidate. Let me mention that information outlining the process can be found on the school division's website, including the developed superintendent's profile and the superintendent's job application beginning on Monday, February 10th. That's if our work session goes real well on Saturday, but we're timing that out that will be Monday. Also, a timeline for the process has been included on the website, and let me briefly outline some of the upcoming dates. As I've stated, the superintendent's profile and job application will be developed on Saturday, February the 8th. The superintendent's profile and superintendent application will be posted on Monday, February the 10th. From February 10th to March 20th, the school board will be in receipt of applications from prospective candidates. On April 4th, that's a tentative date, the school board will review all applications and determine the pool of candidates to be interviewed. First and second round interviews will be conducted during the months of April and the first part of May, and in May, the new superintendent will be introduced to the community. As you can tell, this is a pretty aggressive process, but Real Synergy is committed to assisting the Warren County School Board in finding the match. Thank you to the school board for the opportunity to really get to know the Warren County community again. We can tell, my partner and I, it is obvious from the comments that we have heard thus far that this community values its school division and sees it as a vital resource to assist its children to reach their potential. I look forward to hearing comments from your community yet again tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. Okay, we'll open it up to anyone that would like to speak and give input for the superintendent search. Ms. Oakland?
First of all, excuse my casual attire, but it is Wednesday, wear red for Ed. And that was one of our fundraisers that we did for the endowment and scholarship back in November. Okay. As you move forward with your search for a new superintendent, you will hear, if you haven't already heard, and I'm sure you have, Dr. Martin, a variety of priorities, and some may even conflict with one another. Maybe even many conflict with one another, I don't know. When I polled WCEA members about what qualifications they wanted me to address, I got one response suggesting that we hire someone from outside the community and another stating how important it would be to hire someone familiar with the community. So, we get all sorts of different responses. And while differing about some qualifications, teachers agreed on many. I feel comfortable making the following statements. The next superintendent should be someone with classroom experience and lots of it. Maybe even both elementary and secondary. That's sometimes hard to find. The next superintendent should be someone who wants the best for our students and realizes that recruiting and retaining high-quality teachers is paramount. As one member put it, we need someone who is the biggest fan of teachers so they can be the biggest fan of our students and not the biggest fan of policy. The next superintendent should be someone who's willing to work with and listen to the community and teachers in reviewing, changing, and establishing policies, whether it's grading, scheduling, behavior, calendar, transportation, whatever it is. Teachers want to feel supported and work with the central office to provide the best education possible for our students. The Warren County Education has worked closely with the Warren County School Board and the Superintendent's Office in trying to provide our students with the quality education that they so richly deserve. We want that partnership to continue. And that's pretty much all I have to say, so have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Oakland. Anyone else? I wasn't sure if she was coming up or not. Just waiting, sorry. Anyone else like to speak? Not hearing any, we'll close this meeting. Thank you. All right, next thing is a public hearing on the fiscal 2021 budget. School board and staff have begun the process of building a proposed budget for fiscal 2021. That runs July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2021. To assist with prioritizing the needs of the school division, members of the public are invited to share their input, their priorities and ideas for the proposed 2021 school budget. Anyone like to come speak? Yes, ma'am.
Well, again, I'm Kim Oakland. Oh, I don't think I introduced myself last time because you all know me. I'm Kim Oakland. I'm the president of the Warren County Education Association. And when I was preparing these comments, I almost said I'd be brief, but I thought you'd laugh at me. So there will always be more need than money, and you already know so many of the needs. And I really am going to be brief tonight. I'll share with you the things that I heard from members. One, continue with the implementation of the recommended salary scale and steps that were started last year. One of the things we've learned over the last 12 years is that if we freeze salaries and we don't honor the step process, we get so far behind in our salaries, kind of like you all discussed about the bus replacement process at the last meeting, that it's almost impossible to catch up, and that's what we're facing. So we want to keep that momentum going. They also members also expressed concern, of course, as they do every year, about health care cost, and that faces everyone. And then they're looking for money for materials, textbooks, all of those things that unfortunately have been cut throughout the years. It's starting to catch up with us. So I don't have any easy answers, and you all always make wise decisions, and you are very supportive of our teachers and our students. So I have said everything I need to say. I know you'll do the right thing.
Thank you, Ms. Oakland. Anyone else like to speak? Seeing none, we'll close this section of the budget. Moving on, next thing is consent agenda. Anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Reports. Ms. Fox, school nutrition.
Good evening, and thank you very much for all you do for the schools. And School Board Appreciation Month should be all year long. So we really appreciate everything you do and your partnership that we have with you. And it's really a joy to work here. So with that, I just kind of wanted to share some good news. So many good things are happening in our community. And one of the best things that's happened this year is Mr. Goodwin called me one day, and we were discussing kind of the transportation, through no fault of anybody's, because it's just everybody's kind of getting in at the same time. there were a lot of kids who wanted to eat breakfast. So through speaking with Mr. Goodwin, we kind of came up with, the only thing we really could see we could do is serve breakfast in the classroom. And it has just been, there were no growing pains at all. We met with the teachers, we talked with the teachers about what concerns they might have. We went through how it would work, and even the first day, we rolled it out, and with the attendance factor, there were about 425 kids on a given morning, and we served 420 the first day, I believe, and have averaged about 400 breakfasts every day at E. Wilson Morrison. And when you go in the morning, it's just very organized and quiet, and the kids are coming in and getting their breakfast, and the partnership with the teachers and the administration there has just been really nice, and our staff really likes it because they know the kids are getting to eat, and they're choosing all the components, so they're getting fruits, and the things that we serve, we are heating, and then a lot of them come in a special container that can maintain that heat, so they are still getting warm breakfast. There's not as much choice because you would tend to have a lot of waste if that happened, but we are meeting special dietary needs. If anyone has any special requests, we're taking care of that as well. So that's been a real win for us, and I'm really happy to tell you about that. Both high schools won the Healthy High School Challenge again this year. That was in the fall, and they purchased items that were designated as healthy, and they were different each week. And all of the money to give prizes came from the companies that sold those healthier items. So Warren County High School received $1,000, and Skyline High School received $500, and that goes to their student government, and they can use that however they like. So any projects they have, it goes directly to them. We have our Future Chefs Contest coming up. I would like to invite all of you to that. It's on March 11th. It'll start about 5:15, and we'll be choosing our little chefs here pretty soon. It's open to 4th and 5th graders, and this year the theme is to reimagine their favorite lunch. So it's kind of a little more open than it's been in the past, and we're looking forward to that at Hilda J. Barber at 5 o'clock on March the 11th. And then the last thing I really wanted to share is, I think everybody knows what a great community we have, but it's been so heartwarming as people hear about the need of students who maybe are coming to school and aren't able to get lunch. We're ahead of that curve. We don't turn any student away. We serve every student and then worry about how to pay for that later. But people are really taking that to heart, and we have had so many donations from the community. And I did want to recognize, there are some organizations that have come back to us every month. The Red Hat Society, Buckton Presbyterian Church, Pathway Outreach Ministries, and just recently, I guess actually yesterday, the Unity, getting a little old here, United Masonic Lodge, number 146, brought a check for over $1,000 and paid off all the debt in the elementary schools, and we're working towards getting all of the middle schools paid off with that donation. And it was feasible because of so many of these other organizations that also gave. We've had retired teachers come in. We have one teacher that comes in 2 or 3 times a year or more. And we also have quite a few community members that when their students graduate, if they have a positive balance, have opted to help other students with that amount of money, as well as students that have transferred. We will refund that money, but we call and so many people say, just help somebody else. So it's been really heartwarming to see that caring go out to all of our students. And I'm hoping that maybe we can even encourage people who might want to help to come and work in our summer programs. We've had a lot of outreach with the backpack program. We've included that with our summer program to deliver those on Thursdays. So we are always happy to hear from any of our community members. And that's really all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
Board members, anything?
Okay, well, thank you, and I hope to see you on the 11th if you can make it.
Ms. Fox, that's an awful lot of good news. Thank you so much for what you do for our school system.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Next up is Reaching Out Now, Mr. Fox.
She's a tough act to follow.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, and congratulations on School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you so much to all of you for serving our community. It means a lot to our community, more than they probably even know sometimes. Reaching Out Now. Through leadership and empowerment, Reaching Out Now Incorporated supports and encourages underserved school-age girls and young women to live victoriously. In partnership with Warren County Public Schools, Reaching Out Now has implemented mentoring and support programs. They are challenging students to rise above their circumstances to become their best selves. At this time, I'd like to invite Samantha Barber and Kristen Merrick and several of their good friends up to the podium to tell us more about it.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Good evening. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come before you tonight to speak about Reaching Out Now and the program that we're offering. My name is Samantha Barber. I'm president of the organization. And with us tonight is Kristen Merrick. She is the advisory committee, director on the advisory committee. And we also have Ann Cobb, who is the vice president, and Toby Heyer, who is the parent liaison, and she's also on the community outreach committee. We also have some of our students here and parents supporting us. I'm going to be speaking just a little bit about the history of Reaching Out Now, and Ms. Merrick will be speaking about Reaching Out Now today. Reflection of togetherness, community leadership, support, perseverance are attributes we use to describe Reaching Out Now as a living, breathing entity. The organization has been tailored to fulfill the needs of students and support our students in our community. Back in 2008, Reaching Out Now started as an organization to support low-income families and public school teachers. From its inception, we mostly focus on Title I schools, which we know are schools that have more than 50% of the students on free and reduced lunch. We began the organization more or less as it was an accident, per se. I had given up my job on Capitol Hill, and I was a stay-at-home mom with my children. And I began to volunteer at my daughter's public school, and it became so evident that there was a tremendous need. And through different conversations, Reaching Out Now became and was established as a nonprofit organization back in December of 2008. From there, we implemented a program that we believed and saw that was the need of our community, most especially our school community. And over the 5 years that the organization worked with Charles County Public School in Maryland is where the organization started. We were a community foundation. We were the nonprofit organization of the year in 2010. In 2011, we were named the Charles County Chamber of Commerce Nonprofit Organization of the Year. We also received numerous county, state, sorority, and civic organizations award. And to this day, we are still recognized to being, the organization that brought the Community Day to Charles County. And Community Day is when the community get together to do fundraising for our public schools. With partnership with organizations such as Walmart, Sam's Club, Charles County Commissioners, Charles County Public School, Southern Maryland Newspaper, and other organizations, we really went into the school system to support the need of what was going on in the schools. And one of our programs was the Community Day Food Drive, and over a 5-year period, we were able to raise over 80,000 pounds of food to support and feed families over the summer. Our Back to School Bash, when we started in 2008, we started with 3 schools, and by 2014, we were donating book bags with school supplies with all 34 schools in Charles County. We also partnered with sororities, civic organizations, churches, and community efforts on school drives, and other school initiatives. But the nucleus of the organization was our Inspired to Lead Girls program and our Lotus Voice program, which is Lotus is leading others to understand success. And from that program, we went into the middle schools and we also went into the high schools. And we had workshops with young ladies and young boys on different series of different topics, ranging from empowerment, going into to hear the school board talk. We took them to Annapolis, and just to fit the need of the middle schoolers and also the high schoolers. And back in 2014, the organization became dormant, where I began to focus more on family, and I began my career at T.C. Williams High School, where I worked for 6 years before I moved here to Warren County back in 2018. And from then, I met these amazing people at Skyline Middle School, Mr. Johnston and his administrative team, and we began talking about how I can get involved because I had given up my job, and I was on the PBIS committee, and from that, just different conversations and reaching out now, more or less we say, the Phoenix rose, and we reestablished the organization here in Warren County. And we spoke of the history of the organization because one thing we wanted to do is to make sure that as we reestablish Reaching Out Now, it wasn't what it was, but it's what it's supposed to be here to support our students here in Warren County. And it was just a time where we just sat down, we wrote the vision, we wrote the mission, and came up with an organization that would clearly support the students and the teachers and the public schools here in Warren County. And so by that, I will turn over to Ms. Merrick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Merrick. I'm the advisory chair for Reaching Out Now. I am also a school counselor at Skyline Middle School. Tonight I'm going to talk about Reaching Out Now today and how we're currently serving the students. So Ron focuses on meeting students where they are in order to help them build skills that they need for the future to help overcome life's obstacles and help them reach their full potential. Today, the heart of Reaching Out Now is our Girl of Destiny Leadership Program, which we have a couple girls back here in the program. We currently serve 18 girls at Skyline Middle School, and we meet with the girls on the first and third Wednesdays of every month for workshops, and those workshops are tailored to the needs of the girls. They are held by different professionals in the community that come in. And so they're based around our 4 units, college and career readiness and academic literacy, character development, community leadership, and financial literacy. Currently, we are in our college and career readiness unit. So we started January off with goal setting. Today, the girls did yoga, and then they moved into doing their vision boards and, planning for their future. And we're going to finish up that unit with college visits to JMU, hopefully Virginia Tech, Shenandoah, and LFCC. Another really big part of the Girl of Destiny leadership program is service projects. We believe it's really important to help students connect and grow in the community while also giving back and serving others. We do service projects throughout the year. So far this year we have done the Hope Closet, which is a clothing and toiletry closet at Skyline Middle School. It's there for any student or family in need. They also did Christmas meals, so they partnered with Skyline Middle School and put together boxes for families in need. We held a holiday cheer and giving event and raised $500 that they were able to give back to those families in need as well. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the girls got together and they wrote cards for teachers who have impacted their lives in a positive way. And today at our faculty meeting, the 18 girls were able to go hand those cards directly to those teachers. A couple upcoming events we have, and you guys are welcome to come to any of them. Career Day at Skyline Middle School is on February 19th. Every student is going to get the opportunity to listen to 3 different career talks throughout the day. And then we have our educational forum on March 17th, where students, educators, and community leaders are going to come together and kind of a roundtable discussion to talk about poverty and education. Some highlights of data that we collect. So we do pre and post tests on the program. We did a pre-test and a mid-year test so far. Two big highlights are 13% of the girls in our group have 13% have increased in feeling good about themselves, and there's a 14% increase in students having a career goal. So we're really excited to continue the school year with these girls and watch them grow even more. We do have a few students who wanted to talk about how the program has impacted them. So I have Audrey, Natalie, Cheyenne, and LaShawn, if you girls want to come up. Yes.
You don't have to, you want to.
I'll stand here with you.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh my gosh. This is so weird.
We're scared up here
Hey.
also.
You guys do
You're
this
fine,
a lot,
trust me.
though. I've never talked in front of people I don't
Just-
know.
Pick something up there and stare at it. Don't look at us.
I've only been in this group for a couple weeks, and I felt like before I've kind of been through a lot, and it's kind of like hard to know that I'm not, that I've kind of felt like I was alone, but now that I'm in this group, I feel like I've had the most support I've ever had in school and outside of school and sports, and they've always been here for me for the past couple weeks. We've done a lot of activities together to learn about each other and to grow with each other. I feel like we've all gained a lot of confidence in each other and even ourselves the past couple months. Okay, I'm done.
And this was Audrey. She is an
Audrey.
8th grader
Yeah.
at Skyline.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Great job.
Very
Natalie.
good.
Cheyenne.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne. I'm 13 years old in 8th grade, and I'm a part of the Reaching Out Now program. I really love this program and all the people that are involved. Before Reaching Out Now, I was really shy, to myself, and insecure. Now we are only a couple months into this program, and I've seen a very big change in myself. The other day, I had to go to people's doors and sell Girl Scout cookies. Usually, I'm very shy and don't talk much. This year, I've been more social and not as nervous while doing it. I can say with pure confidence that I am a better person since I've been in this program. Before this program, I had no motivation to want to go to school. Now I've realized, with the help of this program, attendance is very important. Not only has my attendance increased dramatically, so has my grades. In the beginning of the year, I had D's and C's. Now I have mostly A's and B's. I really love this program and how it helps people in the community. I'm very proud of myself and the other people involved in this program.
Very good.
LaShawn.
You're fine.
I just need to speak good, and I'm right here with you.
Hi, I am LaShawn. I am 12 years old in 6th grade at Skyline Middle School. The girls group is important because it helps girls with friends, communication, and every other thing in life. It is second family to everyone. I come to the girls group having the worst day, and they just make me laugh so much I forget about it all. Where am I at? We learn to make jewelry, how to find a good college, and today we did yoga, and it was actually pretty fun. And I hope that other students get to have a group like this at their school, because it really helps, and these beautiful ladies are really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Natalie. I just started going to Reaching Out Now. All of the people there are very nice, and I gained some things from there. I cannot believe that I met all of these nice people. All of them have helped me through my worst and my least. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Barber and Ms. Merrick. Thank you so very much. Ladies, young ladies, you did wonderful. I mean, to be your age and get up and speak like that, that's really good. So thank you for getting them the confidence to do that. Okay. Any questions for?
I just want to know how we can get this program in all of our middle and high schools. That would be great.
We have met with Dr. Smith and actually the girls, back in December, Cheyenne was one of the first one who was like, Miss Samantha, so what's going to happen to us next year? So last Monday, Kristen and I met with Dr. Smith, and he is 100% on board. And we are already working on different things. Like we're having May 4th, and I can speak of this because he said okay. May 4th, we're actually having Decision Day, and Decision Day is where we're going to be highlighting the seniors. They're going to be wearing T-shirts that says Decision Day and what they're going to be doing after graduation. And we're going to be working on implementing the program with Skyline High School definitely next school year. So
It sort of reminds me of the big program at E. Wilson, and just if we can start them early in elementary school and then carry through to middle and high school, wow, what a difference it makes in their lives.
yes, and Mr. Goodwin has been amazing because LaShawn actually came from E. Wilson, and she was recommended by the teachers there before she started Skyline. And Kristen has already spoken with teachers there.
Yes, Eddie Wilson. I met with a teacher who's doing a girls group after school, very similar to what we do. And so she was like, "Can they come do this?" Yes, definitely. I said, "Send me their names, and we'll get them started next year."
That's great. Thank you for your passion and all your hard work.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you all. Superintendent report. Ms. Shepherd?
Thank you. I would just like to reiterate what Mr. Williams said about these young ladies. They did it was very brave of them to come and speak in front of a group of adults. So Audrey, Cheyenne, LaShawn, and Natalie, you did a fantastic job. Thank you. We would also like to recognize our school counselors this week for National School Counseling Week. School counselors are vital members of the education team. They are agents for equity for students. School counseling programs improve students' learning and behavioral outcomes. School counselors maximize student success by providing academic and career development along with mental and behavioral health support. So thank our school counselors. We would also like to celebrate Career and Technical Education Month. Okay. Just a second. Having a little technical difficulty. This month, Career and Technical Education provides students with a career pathway for post-secondary education and workplace readiness and serves as the foundation of a strong, well-educated workforce. Career and Technical Education gives students experience and practical, meaningful applications of basic skills. Career and Technical Education offers student opportunities to learn new skills that provide them with more career choices and gets our students ready for successful careers. So let's celebrate Career and Technical Education Month. Further, on Friday, January 10th, 33 Warren County High School DECA students competed in the Virginia DECA District Conference held at the Apple Blossom Mall in Winchester. 12 students were recognized as finalists, with 7 students placing in their respective competitive events. And those students who placed will be attending the Virginia DECA State Competition February 28th through March the 1st in Virginia Beach. I would also like to congratulate the Skyline High School academic team, who was the runner-up at the Region 3B tournament on Monday, January the 27th. The academic team has been asked to participate in the It's Academic show on Channel 4. So that's exciting. Monday, February 17th is now a school day. It was a professional weather makeup day. We have currently missed 4 days due to weather, but we still have the month of February and March ahead of us. So if we do not miss more than 4 more days due to weather, then the days will be taken off at the end of the school year. And then I want to announce again, Dr. Martin did this earlier, but there will be a special meeting on Saturday, special school board meeting on Saturday, February the 8th at 9 a.m. And there will be an open session to discuss the qualifications for the next superintendent and the superintendent profile.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shepherd.
You're welcome.
I want to go back to the Reaching Out Now group. If you all would like to leave and go home and relax and do homework and just get ready for tomorrow, you're more than welcome to leave, okay? Thank you for being here. We'll give them a second.
A lot of support there.
Okay, school board reports. Mr. Wells.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we can all see tonight that, as cliched as it's become, it does take a village. Nobody can say that this community doesn't care about their schools and about their students and their achievement, their health, their welfare, and just thanks to everybody. As we head into the budget session, we have always had an excellent working relationship with our Board of Supervisors, and I know that will continue. I had the pleasure Monday of taking a tour of Hilda J. Barber. My two guides were Rory and, wait a minute. Rory and Bella, who gave me an excellent tour along with Principal Mrs. Taubenberger, and I mumbled through that because I've messed up her name half a dozen times, so I said I was just going to call her Mrs. T. So, but all the students were excellent. The opportunity to read a book to the second grade class, you don't realize how much fun that is until you actually do it. It was just an excellent experience, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank Hilda for reaching out to me, and hope to be able to visit several more times.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wells. Ms. Bauer.
Monday, Mr. Rinaldi and I had the opportunity to attend the WCEA, the Morgan County Education Association monthly meeting, and we found that very interesting, some good conversations. And I also had the opportunity back in December to talk with some other secondary school teachers and administration, and some of the concerns and some of the things that we'd like to address maybe at the next work session are, a good talk about grading and scheduling and honors classes. So I think it'll be a good time to start a conversation and see where we can move forward on that. And I also want to thank everyone for all of the nice gifts for School Board Appreciation Month. It's almost better than Christmas because I don't get very many Christmas gifts. So I just don't do that anymore. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bauer. Mr. Rinaldi.
Well, it was a real pleasure meeting with the WCEA, with Ms. Bowers. It was a very positive meeting. There was no mention of closing schools on the school day. I also wanted to say that I went on the tour for the custodial contract that's coming up. And I got to tell you a story about Skyline Middle. I think all of y'all will appreciate it. We went into the building, and it's beautiful inside. The new part, it's well lit. We also saw the older part of the original building. There's hardwood floors in the classrooms. It is just amazing in there. I can't imagine that building being changed. I had a hard time with it when it was done, but after I went through it, it's amazing. So we're walking around and everything's pretty good and it's well lit, it's very enjoyable. Go down to the cafeteria and students are eating. And it's a little loud in there, and I used to teach middle school, so I knew that. But all the kids turned around, they looked at us with that look on their face. And one kid asked us, now you gotta remember, some of these people were in suits, casual business, casual clothes, et cetera. And a kid yells out, "Are y'all with the FBI?" And I started laughing. I said, "Welcome to middle school." But these girls that were here, that were from the middle school, you know, a character trait that they learn is courage, and they all demonstrated that tonight. And that's something we need to take home with us and remember about these middle school kids, the situations that they can get into, idle time, et cetera. So I'm impressed with this program. I really am. So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rinaldi.
Sorry about that.
Dr. Pence.
Thank you. So I met for the first time on January 16th with the Mountain Vista Governor's School Governing Board. So that was my first time at that meeting. So there was some time spent, thankfully, just with introductions of everyone else on the board, get a little bit of background information on the Governor's School. We had a great presentation that day from some Frederick County students on their VEX Robotics program, and Dr. Williamson offered to actually come to one of our school board meetings with some of the Warren County students and showcase some of the great work that they're doing there. So hopefully Ms. Shepherd can maybe arrange.
Mr. Fox is lining that up. Perfect, love it.
So that's great. That's something we talked about. The 2021 budget was also proposed and approved that day with no difference in cost to Warren County per student, or any of the counties per student, so it was a flat $0. We also discussed the 2021 Governor's School academic calendar that was presented and also approved that day. On January 27th, I had the opportunity to go over to Lord Fairfax Community College when they had their open student parent night for rising 10th graders to, again, go over what the Governor's School program is all about. It was well attended, and I recognized a lot of people from Warren County there. There were students with good questions. Everyone stayed after and spoke to faculty members from the Governor's School. It's really a phenomenal program. It wasn't available when I was in school here, and it's really something. Today I had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Johnston and get a tour of Skyline Middle School. So I also loved seeing all the differences. I went to Warren County High School, Skyline Middle School when it was Warren County High School, and so it is really a beautiful school, and it was interesting seeing the changes that have been made. And then the historical science classroom was pretty awesome. And so I think my next tour up is Ressie on Friday, so I'm looking forward to meeting some of the students there and seeing what Ressie Jeffries has going on as well. And so I just appreciate everything that we've done this week, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pence. The things I have are, the ladies tonight, phenomenal. I mean, to be that age and get up and speak, and yeah, it's a little tough for them, but they did it, and they, you know, that built more confidence in them tonight to move forward in the future. And everybody in this room knows public speaking's pretty tough. And when you're that age, it's real tough. So my hat's off to that program. I greatly appreciate that. Next thing is, Principal Lehman invited me to go to a technology showcase at AS Rhodes on the 17th. So I can't wait to see what that's going to be, because all those little ones, it'll always be phenomenal and interesting. The next thing is, I'd like to thank this board for what you do, the time you put in, you know, extra board meetings, extra time you work, and it's very important. The superintendent search and a budget coming, so I just want to say thank every one of you very, very much. That's all I have. Action agenda. Call for nominations for the induction into Roy Boyles Wall of Recognition. Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. The Roy K. Boyles Wall of Recognition was created in 2017 by the Warren County School Board. The inaugural inductee of the Roy K. Boyles Wall of Recognition was Roy Boyles. As a longstanding supporter and contributor to the education system in Warren County, Roy exemplified the criteria needed to be considered as a member of the Wall of Recognition. The criteria to be considered: nominees must have a direct connection to the Warren County Public Schools. Examples of nominees are any Warren County Public School employee, school board member, other local or regional board member, a specific group that has had a dramatic influence or impact on Warren County Public Schools. If the nominee is an individual, they must have been out of their field of service for at least 5 years. Nominees need to have had a positive and lasting impact on the Warren County Public School system. The process. Each year, the Warren County School Board will accept nominees from any interested party. The school board, along with the superintendent, will review the nominees for selection. Selected nominees or appropriate family members will be notified of their selection, and they will be recognized at a school board meeting in March or April. A plaque will be hung in the school board office commemorating their selection. So this application is going to be going out today, tomorrow, and we will be having a conversation about the Roy K. Boyles Wall of Recognition in the upcoming weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Questions, Ms. Shepherd? Okay, thank you, Ms. Shepherd. Next item is approval to join Fauquier Rappahannock Regional Special Education Program. Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the school board, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I want to talk about the possibility of Warren County Public Schools creating and joining a regional program that's in its infancy. Because of equity issues with funding across the Commonwealth, the Department of Education has looked at the school divisions that weren't participating in regional programs, 58 of them. Those school divisions were funded less than and didn't get the Department of Education's portion of funds allocated to regional programs for a number of years. I just looked up when NREP, the Clark, Winchester, Frederick regional program started. It started in 1975. So with that logic, the Department of Ed has been funding that regional program since 1975. The Department of Ed felt there were some equity issues to some of the counties that weren't getting those regional dollars. One of those being Warren, a couple others being Rappahannock, as well as Frederick, Culpeper, and many throughout the Commonwealth. So the Department of Ed created a mechanism to help support those counties that weren't getting those regional dollars. That program is called a tuition reimbursement system for students with particular disabilities, very, very high need, low incident disabilities. So there's a pretty complex mechanism in how we figure out how many dollars that we can get reimbursed for. But one of the mandates to get reimbursed those dollars is to create a regional program of our own. So we've been working diligently with partners to our south and east to create the Fauquier, Rappahannock, Warren regional program, with hopefully Culpeper becoming a member soon. We have put together an application and mailed it to the Department of Ed, and we've been doing all that preliminary work before we wanted to take it to you and take it to our board to see if you were willing to let us join. It went before the regional board on Monday, and they wholeheartedly approved our acceptance pending your approval. So what we're asking is that you allow Warren County Public Schools to join the Rappahannock, Fauquier Rappahannock Warren Regional Program, which is only about 8 to 10 months old. They've actually just had their first meeting this year, but it's really actually probably their first formal meeting this week. And this will allow us to tap into regional dollars that the Department of Ed has allocated for Warren County, which will support students with some low incident and specific types of disabilities. Good example of what I'm talking about. Our neighbors to the north, in Frederick, Clark, and Winchester, have a program called NREP. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That program was started in '75 and starts and serves specific students with disabilities, just students with disabilities. And it's basically a separate school. That's not our goal. Our goal right now is to collaborate with Rappahannock and Fauquier and create professional development activities for all of our staff at no cost, so we can tap into the regional dollars to help support the programs that we already have in place. We feel our programs are competitive with any program in the Commonwealth, and we want to just access more dollars so that we can do that. There is a little bit of a labor cost to that. It's going to take a school board member to attend the meeting every quarter, as well as some administrative staff or administrative staff from special services. So that's what I'm asking for today. I attached a sample, it's not a sample MOU, this is the MOU that they put together. It seems a little cumbersome, I was reading through it. That is, for instance, if Fauquier and Warren County wanted to build a bricks and mortar separate facility, this MOU would hold that capacity, in other words. So, but we have no plans on doing that, and it's only by your board approval, and nobody can allocate any funds except for Warren County School Board. Does that make sense? I tried to sum it up in a nutshell. We're trying to capture as many dollars as we can, so we can support students with low-incident disabilities, and this is a good way to do that. Been working very closely with the State Department and the finance director to look at the different mechanisms we can to do that.
So how much money is allocated?
There's a token dollar amount that's allocated this year. It's $111,000. By our calculations, over the next few years, that should rise dramatically. We looked at the calculations that we are spending on specific disability areas, and we came up with about $825,000. Now, there's some formulas that they have to run with our composite index and some other kinds of things, and the reimbursement, I'm hoping, should be about 60% of that. But right now, as a placeholder, the Virginia Department of Ed allocated us $111 for this year.
For Warren County or for Warren County, Fauquier, and
For
Rappahannock?
Warren County.
For Warren.
We'll also do a reimbursement for what we're spending on these specific populations on March 31st. So we'll actually be allocated some dollars if you approve this year as well. So by my math, it should be around $25,000 this year. And then 111 is already put into, I don't know what you call that, Rob?
Next fiscal year.
Next fiscal year's budget. After we get started and after we got our feet wet with the other counties, they're learning too. That's why they're doing this. We're going to be able to hopefully leverage a significant amount of more dollars that we can bring back to Warren County and support our special education programs.
Well, how many students do you think you'll be able to service?
Right now, with the specific disability categories, there's 23 students identified of high-end kids. One of the reasons why regional programs developed in the first place is to prevent private school day placements and residential treatment facilities where schools have to access comprehensive children's services dollars to send them when they can't support them. Because as I'm preaching to the choir, as you all know, the IDEA mandates that we support them regardless of their need. So some school divisions can't meet that need, so they purchase programs. Well, regional programs are a way for public schools, because we have the best expertise, to blend our expertise and provide our own programs. We've done that without a regional program. We've done that in Warren County all by ourselves, and specifically, the last attempt at doing that was with the creation of Brighter Futures and serving our students with emotional disabilities. That's very, very similar to a regional program. So, as we move forward, we'll be looking at a variety of creative options, and I think we will be a leader within this program.
Couple questions, Mr. Hirsch. It says the board will delegate day-to-day oversight of operations to a program director. Who's a program director? Where do they office?
The current program director is the superintendent of Fauquier County.
Is he paid through the state?
He's not paid for this. This is one of his duties as superintendent of Fauquier County.
And then the executive superintendent is?
I take that back. That's the Fauquier County superintendent. And then the program director, I'm guessing, and I don't know that for sure, we'll find out at the meeting if we go, will be the special ed director of Fauquier County.
Because it's based out of Fauquier from what
It is. They were the lead. They were the lead agency that started the application.
All right. Any other questions, comments?
Want a motion?
Here, a motion?
I move that approval be given to join the Fauquier-Rappahannock Regional Special Education Program, and that the chairman be authorized to sign the corresponding memorandum of understanding.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Discussion of food service management contract renewal. Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. On June 18th, 2019, the Warren County School Board entered into an agreement with Sodexo America LLC to manage the food service operations of the school division. The agreement contains a clause that allows the contract to be renewed annually for 4 additional one-year periods upon the mutual consent of both parties. The recommendation at the next school board meeting on February 19th will be to renew the contract with Sodexo for an additional one-year period beginning July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. The cost increase for the 2020-2021 school year is 1.5% for the general support services, which is an increase of $1,995, and 1.5% for the management fee, which is an increase of $1,640. The general support services fee will be $135,030, and the management fee will be $110,999. The management fee will not be paid unless a program generates a minimum guarantee financial return of $72,750. In our contract with Sodexo, it allows for the CPI increase each year. The CPI this year was 3.1%, and through negotiations, we were able to get that to 1.5%. So wanted to point that out, and Sodexo was very accommodating for that.
Good.
The agreement includes the following offerings: $72,750 guaranteed return, $6,000 is awarded annually to for a scholarship. $6,500 is given to the backpack program. $2,500 is a grant to introduce new programs in Warren County, and $1,000 is contributed to the Warren County Educational Endowment. Sodexo will continue to promote healthy eating for students and staff and create menus that are compliant with the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. They will serve fresh fruits and vegetables daily and purchase locally grown ingredients when available. Sodexo will continue to employ the food service employees and train employees on proper food handling and customer service and safety. And I just want to say that our program runs so well because of the people that we have in our buildings and in leadership there. So Saran does a nice job, Ms. Fox does a nice job managing that group, and we have great food service employees.
Agreed. Any comments, questions?
No.
Nope. All right. Moving on. Program of studies for the year 2020 and 2021. Mr. Fox.
I want to thank all of you for your kind words to the girls at Reaching Out Now. When they went out in the hallway, they were so excited. They were talking with one another and talking with their sponsors and talking with their parents. I think it really made their night. And as far as their confidence, it truly is a confidence builder. So thank you all for allowing them, and thank you for the kind words. The 2020 Program of Studies was a collaborative effort. It was assembled by the administration and counselors at Warren County High School, Skyline High School, Warren County Middle School, and Skyline Middle School. And I want to give some special accolades out to Leslie Detweiler at Warren County High School, who's assisted me with compiling this, with Jennifer Brockman, who is working studiously to correct all the mistakes that I've made, and also to Jane Baker, who is also correcting my mistakes and is here to answer questions about the program. I'm going to read some things to you, some of the highlights. That's my goal for tonight. But since many of the programs are coming from Blue Ridge Technical Center, if you have deeper questions, she's made herself available tonight. The program of studies features the following new offerings: patient care technician, and maybe I'll just read it this way. The patient care technician is offered as an occupational course after the completion of nurse's aid. It emphasizes the study of nursing occupations as related to the healthcare system. Students study normal growth and development, simple body structure and function, and medical terminology are introduced. Upon completion of the course, students will master skills performing EKGs, ECGs, basic medical lab and exam procedures, drawing blood, and providing basic patient care. I watched Ms. Baker give the presentation at Valley Health about 5 weeks ago, and the Valley Health is so excited to have this program coming on board. And other systems, local systems in West Virginia seem to be very envious of what we're proposing that we'd like to do. Also, Early Childhood Education 1. Course description: students prepared to be primary providers of home, family, or institution-based child care services by focusing on planning, organizing, and conducting meaningful play and learning activities. They will be responsible for child monitoring and supervision, record keeping and referral procedures, work-based learning experiences in on-site labs, local daycare centers, elementary schools, and other institutions under the supervision of the instructor. Students will prepare for continuing education, leading to careers in early childhood fields, which could be the medical, social services, and education. Introduction to Culinary Arts for grades 9 and 10. The Introduction to Culinary Arts, students investigate food safety and sanitation, culinary preparation foundations, basic culinary skills, diverse cuisine, service styles, nutrition and menu development, and the economics of food. Students will also explore post-secondary education options and career opportunities within the food service industry. Now we get into some of the heavy hitters. Welding 3. The Welding Capstone course teaches the industry's emerging technologies and how to demonstrate gas tungsten arc welding and shielded metal arc welding pipe test. Students are prepared to earn relevant industry credentials toward employment and production of manufacturing facilities. If you haven't been to see our kids welding, that would be a nice trip to Blue Ridge Tech Center and see what they're able to do. It's very impressive. Electricity 3. Through hands-on experiences, students continue building skills in the installation, operation, maintenance, and repair of electrical systems with emphasis on industrial applications. They also study lighting, construction, stage lighting, costuming. I've skipped over to the wrong thing. Pardon me. It made sense there for a second, though. Yeah. It really. They also study lighting fixtures, overcurrent protection, service equipment, motor controls, transformers, grounding, and the National Code Book. I say that because Blue Ridge Tech Center has helped in the past with our stage sets. So it was, well, okay, I get that they're doing. Carpentry 3. Carpentry 3 is an advanced course that allows students to gain in-depth knowledge and hands-on experience in construction industry skills. Work-based learning methods of instruction for this course would provide the student with practical on-the-job experiences in addition to what he or she has already mastered in Carpentry 1 and 2. Additional exploration of the carpentry profession and post-secondary options for continuing education and professional opportunities are also emphasized. At Skyline High School, they want to offer sports management. This class is designed for those interested in a career in sports management. Students will explore various aspects of sports and athletics. Specific topics covered in the course relate to the duties of an athletic director or a coach, coaching courses, the athletic budget, safety in sports, athletic facility design, and scheduling. Expectations: students will be active in helping to set up and break down for sporting events, as well as many academic projects throughout the semester. English 10 Honors was removed from the program of studies last year, and we're proposing to bring it back with a specific purpose. The course description: students will be engaged in reading a variety of texts, including pre-20th century and contemporary nonfiction. Emphasis of the class is to assist students in developing the skills needed to be successful in advanced placement English classes. Writing instruction is designed to prepare students for the type of writing that is expected in an advanced placement course. Students begin in 11th grade. They can begin earlier, but they begin in 11th grade with advanced placement language, moving on to literature in 12th grade, and we need to make sure that they're prepared. So the idea for this class is that we will have them given the skills that they need to be prepared. Technical Theater 2 at Warren County High School. Students apply technical theater knowledge and skills by participating in practical aspects of the production process. Students will engage in advanced work through special assignments and opportunities in set construction, stage lighting, costuming, stage makeup, props, and sound design. Emphasis is placed on in-depth study, leadership roles, and application of self-assessment to enhance skills and foster artistic growth. Technical drawing and design. In this foundation course, and this is another one that we're proposing to bring back. In this foundation course, students learn the basic language of technical drawing and design, and they design, sketch, and make technical drawings, models, or prototypes of real design problems. The course is especially recommended for future engineering and architecture students. And the final new addition for this evening is guitar methods is being brought now. It's been at Skyline High School. We propose bringing it to Warren County High School. During this course, students will be guided from the basics of playing classical guitar through finger plucking, fully notated melodies. Throughout the period of instruction, students will have the opportunities to vocalize while playing, perform in groups, and create original compositions. In addition, students will learn how to read rhythmic and melodic notation by using basic music theory skills. So these are the current additions to our 2020 program of studies. And I would ask if you have any questions.
Anyone?
Welding 3, that's going to be new, right?
Yes.
Am I correct in assuming or remembering that our welding students in the past had job offers before they even graduated from high school? They're in such demand.
If they're looking for jobs, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
The jobs are out there and available. I believe one of the companies here in town currently employs 3 of our former welding students.
That's great.
Going to the year 3, the students will receive additional instruction, but it's also opening up the opportunity for us to place these students in co-op situations or intern situations. So, for instance, currently our year 1 welding runs for a 2.5-hour block. Next year, it's going to be cut back to a 90-minute block, which will allow us to move into the welding 3, which will allow our teacher to be able to work with the year 3s, place them in co-op positions, and then be able to follow up in the supervisory role as needed on the job site. So that's why we're looking at all 3 of these, the Carpentry 3 program and the Electricity 3. We're doing some juggling here. Some of the reintroduction of some of the classes, that is occurring again because the classes we're bringing back have a smaller requirement as far as seat time. And it allows us, for instance, the introduction to culinary will allow us to offer more culinary classes. That's one of those classes where currently we have nothing in the 2 high schools that equates to those types of prep skills. And we'll be bringing on a lot more as soon as we get that addition built onto the tech center.
Ms. Baker?
Yes, sir.
The electrical 3 is talking about switches and controls, and that is so valuable right now because if you take all of the big plants that we have around here, they have a hard time finding people that can actually work on control systems, and they're all pumps and switches and all that, from the town to Torrey. So that's going to be a huge plus for our kids graduating, simply because I know you'll talk to these folks, and there may be an internship of some sort, and I think that's great, adding that 3 to whether it's the welding or the electrical or the building. So thank you so much.
I extend the invitation to all of you to come visit. Tomorrow, we do have a meeting with one of the local employers to set up our internships for our automotive students. And I believe it's next week, we'll be meeting with one of the electrical companies that does local. In fact, this particular company is the one that worked on our newest middle school. And they're looking to bring on a couple of students for summer internships. So we're moving the process along. It's a very slow process, but we're making the connections out there.
You are. Amen.
Where is this addition going to be?
Your backyard.
That's what I was afraid of.
Turn I'll tell you later.
You have ideas, huh?
I think you've got a piece of land on the side.
That's what I was worried about.
That's why I told her backyard. Anything else for Ms. Baker or
For Mr. Fox, you said you're going to bring back an English honors class?
Yes.
Are other honors classes going to be brought back, or?
We are open to bringing back honors classes if indeed we have a more rigorous curriculum than the one that's described through the standards of learning. What we've found is that oftentimes our honors classes were regular classes populated by students that had all A's. Not necessarily that the classes were any different. So it is our proposal, if we're going to bring back an honors class, it is going to be a curriculum that is more rigorous than the one prescribed by our standards.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
Anything on the downside, is there anything major that has been pulled out of the program of studies or has been discontinued this coming year?
So the one that comes to mind would be English 11 honors, because we have English 11, which if you want the standards of learning as prescribed, that's available. But if you want a more rigorous English course, then we have advanced placement English class in 11th grade.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Ms. Baker. Thank you, Mr. Fox. Discussion by the school board, adopt a VSBA code of conduct for school boards. And I do want to read this, get your opinions. Okay, it says, VSBA Code of Conduct for School Board Members adopted February 5th, 2020. As a member of Warren County School Board, I will strive to be an advocate for students and to improve the public education, and to that end, I will have integrity in all matters and support to the full development of all children and the welfare of the community, Commonwealth, and nation. I will attend scheduled board meetings. I will come to board meetings informed concerning the issues under consideration. I will make public policy based on available facts and appropriate public input. I will delegate authority for the administration of the schools to the superintendent and establish a process for accountability of administrators. I will encourage individual board members' expression of opinion and establish an open, two-way communication process with all segments of the community. Oops, sorry.
Number 7.
I missed it. I will communicate in accordance with the board policies, public reaction and opinion regarding board policies and school programs to the full board and superintendent. I will bring about desired changes through legal and ethical procedures, upholding and enforcing all laws, state regulations, and court orders pertaining to schools. I will refrain from the using of board position for personal or partisan gain and avoid any conflict of interest or the appearance of impropriety. I will respect the confidentiality of privileged information and make no individual decisions or comments that might compromise a board or administration. I will be informed about current educational issues through the individual study and participation in appropriate programs such as those sponsored by my state and national school board associations. I will always remember that the foremost concern of the board is to improve and enhance the teaching and learning experience for all students in public schools of Virginia. Therefore, I will always strive to demonstrate appropriate behavior and conduct as a public school board member. Comments? Discussion?
Nope.
Everybody in agreement?
Sounds reasonable to me.
I move that the proposed VSBA Code of Conduct for Warren County School Board members be adopted as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We have 4 other classes coming up. Anyone interested in them, just get with Mr. Ballantyne, and he'll make arrangements for you guys and ladies to attend. Want to take about a 10-minute break, and in the caucus room, there'll be some desserts or some type of food. I was told, I don't know what it is but you're more than welcome to go back there. We'll get back about 7:30 or 8:35, and we'll go into our work session for the budget. Thank you.